Well, it's an absolute cracker of an afternoon, so it's time to get on with some work on the Lotus. I had COVID over the weekend, so I'm not very well, but I'm surviving. But the first job we're going to do, we're going to crack straight into it, is the Lotus. So that is flashing, as you can see, which tells you it's all happy. What I need to do is now crank it over, and that should turn into a solid light, which means that the crank sensor down here is sending a recognisable signal and the ECU is happy. Once we've got that, we can then put a lead on here to the cylinder number 1, and we can set the base timing. And then once we've done that, we can put the carbs on. And we're dangerously close to actually starting the thing up then. So yeah, I'm going to see if that stays solid. So keep fingers crossed for me, guys. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. Well, I'm going to call that a great success. That stayed on. The ECU's recognised stuff, which means the next step is plugging the laptop in and setting the timing. And I've just remembered I haven't brought my laptop, so I can't do it. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh well. That means I can go on with some tidying up and general housekeeping in the world of Lotus elans, because it is looking like a shit tip in here. Oh, for fuck's sake. I was all ready to do something important and I haven't brought the bloody laptop. Oh well, that's a job for tomorrow. Let's make sure tomorrow goes really well by being ready for it. So, best get my Mrs. Doubtfire kit on. There's been one absolute constant throughout this project, and that is the gradual messierness. Oh, I don't know. Can't even walk nowadays. Of the garage. I was actually around an old friend's house last night, and we watched, which was rather embarrassing, but all the videos from the start. And one thing I did notice was it was a lot fucking cleaner. I also noticed I do swear a lot, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think about it, so it must just be me. So I'm going to tidy everything up, because a tidy workshop is a happy workshop, and I have my new brake pads to fit, so I'll put those on. And I want to do a bit of work on the carbs, and I want to do a bit of fuel pipe work up here, so everything's ready. And then tomorrow I'm gonna finish. I'll probably just do a half day tomorrow. I'll come down and crack on with hopefully getting this timed up, as we do have a problem with the tooth, because I have reread the instructions, and when it said you want the missing tooth to be 90 degrees before top dead center, I took that as a positional thing, not as a timing thing. So what it actually meant was, when this is at TDC, which is over here, then the mark should be 90 degrees further away from here, so down here, whereas actually they match up, so it's technically at 0 degrees, but I should be able to program that out on the laptop, so that should be okay. If it's not, it's another 60 quid QED trigger wheel. Whoopsie daisy. Yeah, I'm going to find a position for the camera so you can see me birding about, and I promise I won't do a long boring time lapse. Or maybe I will, so you lot suffer with my pain as well. And I'm going to clean up this bit too. I'm just going to have it looking split mint, to quote my friend Paul Townsend, who's an expert car detailer if anyone needs one. Auto Curators down near Hook. He's bald, but he's good. And he likes the term split mint, and I've stolen it from him. So yeah, garage is going to be mint. Going to get a few odd jobs done, and then tomorrow we might get, it might be running. It might fucking work. Fuck me, could you imagine that? Wow, right, let's talk more action. don't remember taking it out. This is a reasonably funny moment when I look at my other tripod and see my phone's not there, and then walk around the garage looking for it before realising it's on my other tripod. I eventually spot it and come and grab it, but made me chuckle. I got terribly bored with tidying up, so I fitted the new pads. These are Mintex pads, which I previously didn't fit because they might have been a little bit too hard and I didn't have a servo. But now I've got the different ratio master cylinder, and see as that's nicely sealed up so no shit will drop in it. Whoops. But no, I've put them in now. And now the next task is, this is the last fuel line that needs changing. And as you can see, it's crimped on. Come on, focus, you bastard. It's crimped on just down there. So this was one of the ideal jobs to have been done when the body was off. But here we are. So I'm gonna whip that off, and then I've got a T-piece going from what this is, which is 6mm, going to 8, which is what the carbs want. And then I'll get the balanced bar tube thing put on. Maybe even a dry run with the carbs fitted, because they've got to be put on at some point, so why not today? Right, we'll see how long that lasts up there before it falls off. Fucking hell. Oh, why didn't you do this before, Naylor? You're such a stupid boy. Alright, let's see if I can snip this. No, I can't. Not like that. Now I'm going to time lapse the rest of this, but God, it was a struggle getting your hands down there, getting the crimp off, getting the union off, or the hose tail or whatever it's called, and then getting the new one on and doing it up until right at the end, when I was just doing the last little nip up, I realised I could pull the fuel hose down under the car and have all the space in the world. So yeah, that was mildly amusing.
Like if anyone's played Duke Nukem,
just goes to show,
the older generation,
always look at potential options elsewhere when doing stuff in tight spaces.
So you can see the prize and the thing you meant to
speed it up to the end so you can all have a good laugh at me. Woohoo! There you go. Look at that. There he is. We'll connect him with this. Yeah, it's gonna need a bit of heat, so I'm gonna go up to the house and do this. Battery on my other phone's gone flat, so I'm on the backup phone. But essentially, this is what I've come up with. So I've changed my plan, because what I did have was this T-piece, which was 6mm, which is what the pipe is coming in, going to 8, which is what the Mikunis want. But I've just gone with 8, and I don't want to use a T-piece, I want to use a Y-piece. I just think it'll put less bends in the pipe. So I'm going to have to get one of those, a Y-piece. So it may not be running this weekend, but good things come to those who wait. So I'm going to struggle like fuck to get this on down here, but nice, lovely, flexible Codan tubing, and it won't, fingers crossed, will stop the car from burning down for his fucking ethanol. The video quality is bloody awful. You can't see anything, And all I'm doing is frustrating myself before I find the easy option about 10 minutes later. So I'll cut this out and we'll move on to the next scene, which is full of joy. Right, now it's time to get the balance bar manifold bit on, I suppose. Bit of a momentous occasion. Now I've got some of this. And this is mainly for the cam cover, which is a bit of a pain for sealing, but you should probably do a decent job of this as well. So, in for a penny, in for a pound. Now then, a decent question, I can hear you all asking it, and in fact I'm asking myself, is should I change the oil pressure line whilst I've got remaining, whilst I still have access before I put this tube on? And the answer is yes, I probably should do, because it bolts in just down here, and it's very, very easy to do when you've got a load of clearance and space. It's one of those jobs I haven't been putting off because I didn't want to do it. I've been sort of not doing it because I've had the pressure line for a while. I always almost saw it as a bit of a finishing part of the puzzle, and I didn't want to spoil myself putting something nice and shiny on without having already made the progress that I deemed necessary. So yeah, there it is, and I frazzled it, unfortunately. Well, the nice men at CalSport sell you new ones, although this is a yes. So you retain the fitting. God damn it! You retain the fitting. There you go. And put the new tube on. So sounds nice and easy. This upper. There we go. There we go. Lovely stuff. Anyway, my friend who I was watching my my videos with yesterday, he asked me the question, and it was a bit of a loaded question, the bastard. What am I going to be doing after I finish the elan? My answer was playing Farming Simulator, but apparently he thinks I should take on a bit of work with his Metro, which has a K-series engine in it. And that's a proper K-series engine, not a Honda, a Rover K-series. I might need a new grommet here, guys. I've got to get this big bugger through. I don't think this grommet is going to survive. Edit, yes, the grommet did survive, and it had been cut in two to allow the big fitting through, but for some reason the camera stopped recording that bit, so yeah, the tube went through and I've elected to do it up later. Alright, just giving the top of the cylinder head a quick clean so I can get the new rocker cover gasket on. Now, these are shite, horrible cork things. So there is a procedure for fitting them, and that is to use the well seal that I used earlier after you have really given it a good clean and degrease. So you use the well seal, and then you rest the gasket on top of the well seal. Then you come back the next day and put the cam cover on. You don't go all billio on it either. You just leave it, let it sit, and then maybe finger tight the bolts down. Just let them compress the cork. So this looks like it's going on pretty thick, but I can assure you it isn't. This must be a very visible but very microscopic film going down. Not that you should do what I'm doing. This is the first time I've ever used this stuff. I don't know how thick it's going to be. I don't know, but I always get the feeling with gaskety, sealanty sort of stuff, especially when it's in and around an engine, the absolute bare minimum should be used. You know, I wouldn't ever want to put a bead of something on, you know, because that to me just means it's going to squirt out everywhere, and it's going to block your oil ways, or it's going to block your pickup pipe or something. And you know, anyone who's got a Lotus twin cam engine, if they think they're having an oil tight engine, they're a fucking joker anyway. You know, so if you use loads of the stuff, all you're going to end up with is a leaky engine anyway, and one that is then starved of oil because its pickup pipes are full of fucking gasket sealant. Whereas this one, the pickup pipes will be clean, but it'll also be leaky. So, going full circle, I don't know really why the fuck I'm even bothering. It's going to leak anyway. Might as well just save the money on the well seal. I can't remember how much this was, but I don't remember it being particularly cheap. Put it that way. 15, 20 quid, something like that. I'm surprised I've still got it, actually. It's exactly the sort of thing I'd lose. Or exactly the sort of thing I'd forget I had and buy a duplicate, only to then remember I actually had bought some originally. So, cork gasket. And where's my little Stanley blade? Hate cork gaskets. I had a very bad experience on sort of Pinto sump gasket. I don't think I've really ever recovered. Oh my god. Yeah, just put the sump back on. Had it on an engine stand and everything. Had a lovely RS. Hang on, that's upside down. Fuck. Who'd have thought these were fucking handed? Had a lovely RS alley sump going on my Pinto. I even had it on an engine stand. And yeah, it's just complete and utter pig. Leaked like a sieve afterwards as well. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I do know why someone doesn't make a really nice gasket for these, because it's not financially worth it. And all the old Lotus boys love a bit of oil leaking. Just like they like their points and condensers. Weird people. Weird people. Okay, this, having done one before without the compound, this is a much nicer job. This is, you know, it's staying where I want it to stay. It's being reasonably well behaved. Yeah. Well, that is surprising. I suppose I'll just leave it like that now for 24 hours. Yeah, sorry, I haven't been very good at filming today. I always have to, the battery goes flat. So these are the plates that connect the balance bar manifold, I suppose I'll call it, the balance bar manifold, to the Stromberg carbs. See there? That, and this is the boot that the Makunis go onto. So you just use 2 of the holes and on it goes. But it's not quite big enough, so I'm going to have to file those out. But then in essence, carbs just bolt on. So yeah, they're not sitting proud, so I suppose I can just put those on and leave the other 2 there in case I ever want to go back to Strommies. I'll cut that bit out. Remember to cut that bit out, Oliver. Be a pro. That bit there, the internal gasket of this will cover that up. So that's all good. They can go on. Right, I've run out of steam for tonight, so I'm going to call it a day. But where did we get to? Well, we got preparing the core gasket for the cam cover. We've got the balance bar on, bolted down. That's great news. We've confirmed that the no-diz works and picks up a crank signal, which is even better. I spent a long while doing something. Can't remember what it was. Fucking about. Oh, I fitted the brake pads, so they're done. I've got the fuel hose done. I just need to get a Y piece, get the carbs fitted. They need a bit of the holes need a bit of massaging, but that's straightforward. We need to figure out how to fit the fuel, the air filter things to the engine. Not quite sure how that's all going to work, but yeah, we need one more of these. So I've taken one. I'm going to go to my uncle's tomorrow, see if he's got one I can steal. But yeah, if we find a Y piece, we are potentially starting the engine tomorrow. Won't run for very long, got no cooling, but you know, we could have it could live again. Who knew? Right, I'm going to do one thing I never do, and that's take a good thumbnail shot. So let's do something arty, and I will draw this video to a close, and you'll get another one tomorrow, you lucky, lucky bastards.